This episode of the Rocker Skating Podcast is brought to you by MK Blades, the choice of champions. For nearly a century, MK has crafted world-class figure skating blades trusted by Olympians and beginners alike. Whether you're perfecting your first jumps or chasing gold, MK gives you the edge you need. Visit mkblades.com and find your perfect pair. All right, welcome to the Rocker Skating Podcast, sponsored by John Wilson Blades. Well, we're on the third Grand Prix of the season, and it was Skate Canada, and Michelle's tired, and I'm also tired. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Hi, Jackie. I'm tired.
We're just gonna spend the entire podcast talking about how tired we are.
Yeah.
I do remember by the time the free dance rolled around this time around, I was like, oh my God, there's more.
Yeah.
And I think there was something happened during the men's free skate where I literally bit my tongue really hard, and now I sound like I have a lisp. So if you hear me a little bit incomprehensible, that's why. But this week was 2025 Skate Canada International in beautiful Saskatoon, and our friend Nick McCarville was over there, and he was giving us a lot of the backstage details of all of the mix zone happenings and everything. We'll talk a little bit about that, especially about what the Italian skaters were saying about their Olympic qualification criteria, which we didn't know about. At least I didn't know about until now, because they haven't published it online. But it's very well known to the skaters, thank goodness.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that and how that all potentially shapes up, because there were some consequential performances here for that.
Nick was
Michelle,
a man on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Michelle, what were your overall impressions of the event?
Strict judging, strict calling, and strict judging, and frustration with the ice dance judging. And after we talk today, I'm going to go watch the entire event again with the protocols in front of me and very carefully go over each element, because I was very much like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I felt like sometimes I watch the sport so much for so many years, but sometimes I feel like I'm disconnected from what's happening because things still surprise me. But I think it was a very well skated event. There were a lot of surprises, I think, in a good way. And I like harsh judging. I like it to be critical, but I also don't want it to be mean. I want it to be understandably harsh, So
yeah.
I'm going to see if I can make sense of some of those calls. But
I mean, why don't we actually start with the dance since we're on the subject? I thought
you want to fight.
I want to fight.
You want to fight.
I thought the rhythm dance was the one where it was a little bit messy across the board, and I you're right. I think that the free dance was where it felt like the levels that were called might have been unduly harsh, but the rhythm dance was interesting, right? Because Gilles Poirier came out with their RuPaul rhythm dance. Reed and Ambulivicious have their I'm Too Sexy dance that we've seen multiple times already this season, and it's very well done and kind of well prepared. And then you have really the debuts on a big stage of La Droit Le Gaz rhythm dance, which we'll talk about, and Carrera Ponomarenko, who Michelle, your dog is really excited about this ice dance event. Carrera Ponomarenko having the sort of biggest stage of their season debut of this rhythm dance. So let's talk about that. Gilles Poirier, RuPaul, your thoughts?
I liked the beginning. I liked the end. I wasn't sure about the I'm Too Sexy part. I was distracted by Piper's orange illusion fabric, which was like a lot. Loved the corset on Paul. The eye makeup, I think, was the wrong look. He looked like he was going to Cruel World, which is a new wave goth music festival with me that I go to every year. He didn't look like RuPaul, but I think he can figure it out. He has lots of resources at his disposal.
Totally.
Yeah, I thought they skated it really clean. It wasn't the star-making vehicle that I was expecting from them. I wanted to be like so happy and so entertained, and I felt like it was a little bit like, I didn't want to say rehearsed, but it felt like the movements in it weren't natural. Like they weren't over the top supermodel fun. They were very much like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make this face.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll get more natural as they get more time with it. But
I think there were certain parts where we saw the sort of fun part of it come through.
Yeah.
But it was in glimpses.
Yeah.
Like I think you saw that in the character step. You see that at the beginning when they were kind of sort of setting up everything. The word that I would use for the execution of this particular version of the rhythm dance was proper. Like I just felt like RuPaul's Drag Race or any of those types of things, like model walking, all of those things, they're not necessarily proper. There's a certain
caricature.
There's a certain kind of properness to it, but
Yeah.
it's also done with abandon, right? It's done with a thing, and it's hard to get out of your like proper ice dance training and ballroom training to get to that level. And I'm guessing that's something that they're working on, and hopefully it'll improve. I agree about the I'm too sexy. I want it to be all supermodel
Yeah.
or something.
So I want to talk about Emily Brady and Ian Somerville, who have a Drag Race inspired Vogue rhythm dance. And there's a remix section in the middle that is clearly like very maybe from Drag Race or Drag Race inspired. And it has these comments on it that are just, familiar. And it's the way it's edited together. And the way the two of them are moving to it, you can tell that they love it and that they are feeling this music. I mean, although they were absolutely hosed at this competition, I can't even explain why. They were confused. Ian was laughing. I was like, what's going on?
Ian was basically like, and the free dance was basically like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But like
Emily had to like shut him up because he was like,
yeah. I feel like Emily and Ian at home, like, dance around to that music and are feeling it. I don't feel like Piper and Paul are dancing to Supermodel at home in the same way. I don't know if it's just like, I don't feel that from them yet. And it's, it's like I felt, especially Paul, he has a very like stoic professional self when he competes, despite being like such a goofball off the ice. And I felt like he was the stoic self trying to be goofy and cool and fun.
Yeah, totally. I have no doubt it's going to improve during the season. I think it's a potentially great vehicle. It is something that is different. It is something that is not in the norm of the like things that we've seen so far, and I am here for it improving. I'd rather it not be the best thing it ever at the very beginning anyway, so it's fine. Now, Le Joie Le Gars, Jock Jams and Ole Ole Ole, and there was something in the middle that was not any of those things. There was Thunderstruck in the middle of it. I don't know what to say about it.
As an American, I don't go to, well, I mean, I guess it's not a non-American thing. I don't go to hockey games. I've probably been to one in my life. I feel like this is they were doing basketball too. It's like a sports thing.
There was miming. There was miming of basketball in there.
Yeah,
the
only sport I go
dribbling,
to is like figure skating. So I don't know. But like, this feels like the program you give a team for their first year on the JGP. I don't, they are such an extraordinary team with such elevated skating and quality, and I'm like, why are you miming basketball? I don't know. And I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it. And then I watched it again and I was like, I guess I can kind of get into this. And then I realized that I was just like coping with it because I was so disappointed. That said, their midline steps were beautiful. I think they called them as a 4-3 and they got reviewed down to a 3-3, but you saw shades of this just incredible skating in this just underwhelming program, and it's frustrating because I want to see this team pushing to get on podiums like on the world stage, and to see them show up with material like that is just like, I don't know, I'm not happy about it.
I just don't like, part of me is saying that I don't know, Jock Jams doesn't isn't a '90s program. I know the music was from the '90s, but
Mm-hmm.
also it's like we hear that stuff all the time, even now,
Yeah.
because it's just part of sports. Period. They were also I think they were also saying something about it being like there was the what was originally like professional soccer chanting of the ole
Mm-hmm.
ole ole,
Mm-hmm.
and that because they're in Italy, a football country, right? Like that would maybe
Mm-hmm.
resonate with the audience or something to that effect. I don't know if they
Mm.
said that or if that was some kind of conjecture of somebody that I read, but I kind of get that, but also I don't like they are they're more than the gimmicky aspects of it, and I think that was the issue that I had with that program.
If they went all in on an Italian sports with 90s music that was popular in Italy, I can kind of see that. But like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I I'm
basketball
not
by me.
happy. And I want them to be so good. And I,
Well, let's talk about the thing that makes you happier, which is White Crow.
oh, so beautiful. They were so
Let's talk about
underscored
White Crow.
today. I, they had a couple little weird little moments. I think like Zach like clipped his toe pick against the board at one point, and then that one lift, a transition, it happened faster than intended. Like he put his leg down, and they moved into the transition faster than they wanted to, but they hit the position and it was okay. Um, yeah. I thought that their components were low. I didn't understand why they scored a 116, and I think in the past they've scored like 124 for this free dance. It was harsh, and I think that their quality is not being rewarded. And I can see why maybe the judges would not be thinking of them in the category of having that quality when they have such a gimmicky rhythm dance. It's still very frustrating to me, and especially looking at the teams that beat them, that also frustrates me. So, particularly
Yeah.
one which you're going to talk about because you love them. So, I was really
Well,
frustrated that you got the dance podium right here in your
I mean,
predictions.
I mean, it. I think for me, it all has to do with preparation at this
Mm-hmm.
point, and I think that was the reason. I mean, I think if this were later in the season, that prediction probably would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
But because Reed and Eprovicius have been just on it for the last 3 months, like you
Mm-hmm.
knew they were going to come in and execute. Whereas with with really any of those three
Mm-hmm.
teams, Gilles Poirier, Ladwalaga, uh, Carrera Ponorenko, all three of them
Mm-hmm.
were sort of like question marks because you're like, this is new material. Like Marjorie and Zach went back to an old program. Christine and Anthony went to a new program.
Mm-hmm.
Piper and Paul were doing this for the first time. Like it was hard
Yeah.
to really predict what would happen. And in fact, all three of them had issues with their elements. Some more kind of obvious than others. With Marjorie and Zach, the thing that I wanted to point out was in both programs, their character step got an exclamation point,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
I did. I
in
looked
the
up the rule and why that happens too, and I forgot what it was because I'm so tired. But yeah, wait,
in
I might have it.
well, so in the rhythm dance, if you recall, he
The
missed
lift.
the
Yeah.
catch on the lift, and I think because that happened, she was set down behind him,
Mm.
and so if I think that was the only thing that it could have been because they were together the whole time within distance. They went from board to board, no problem. The only other issue was this retrogression rule, right? You can't go backwards. And because she was set down behind him, I think they called it going backwards. And so that was my guess as to why that character step was
Mm.
called an exclamation point. And then in the free dance, there's a beautiful moment in the middle of their character step where Zach does a mazurka,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of over mazurkas, um,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of while Marjorie I think was maybe staying in the same spot, he kind of goes a little bit farther away, and
Mm-hmm.
so that was the point I think where they were too far apart,
Mm.
and so those were my two educated guesses as to why they were called not fulfilling requirements as they were. And that in itself cost them 2 points, 3 points. And then the dance spin getting a level 3 was another point, right? Like they would have been 120 here had it not been those two issues.
Yeah, and the Twizzles.
And the
But
Twizzles, yeah, both Twizzles
yeah.
were 3, and so that was another 2 points, right? Like 122. Like we're racking up the points now because of those issues.
I'm still a little salty.
I know you are.
A full point behind the Lithuanians and components, I think really kind of got me.
I mean
And I know the Lithuanians are in great shape. They're skating really well, really clean, but they are still a bit overscored.
yeah,
A bit.
they've been getting very very big components to the point where they were within a point of Gilles Poirier in the free dance. Which like even with that mistake, you were kind of expecting Gilles Poirier to get 50, 54, 55. They got
Yeah.
a 53.88, and so it's like, okay, like what is happening here? And we're at Skate Canada.
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
know.
not like
We said it in the preview. Like I was ready for crazy scores, and they did not. They were crazy, but in the other direction.
yeah, they were weirdly crazy. And then Carrera Ponomarenko, there was a lot of question of like they looked at their scores and they were like, what? And what they didn't see was that their rotational lift got called a 2. It was a 4 and it got leveled down to a 2. Their dance spin got called a 2. All of that stuff, that's another like rack up of 4 to 5 points, and they would have been in 118, 119, 120. So just like kind of things. It was like last week when we were talking about Chalk and Bates's straight line lift that got called a level 2. There, the lift features this season so far, we've been seeing kind of harsher calls, and so no doubt that all of these folks will be making the necessary adjustments so that they don't get those again. Because if you're a dance team and you're not getting all fours on your lift levels and your dance spin levels, like that's very rare.
How do you feel about the resurrection of Vincent?
So I think what's interesting about this, right, as opposed to White Crow, which we saw fairly recently, we haven't seen Vincent in like almost a decade. I mean, the last time we saw it was 7 years ago, 8 years ago. And
Pre-pandemic.
yeah, pre-pandemic and like pre multiple world medals from Gilles Poirier. This was like that first year where you were like, oh my gosh, they've transformed. And it was such a vehicle for them. And the rules also have had 2 cycles of changing, such that the choreography has to be different. It has to be something that is not the same program as before. And that's what I saw. And I liked that it was not like they didn't just recycle the program. They recycled the music and the mood. I could frankly do without the Starry Night dress. I thought that was too literal.
Yeah, I liked it at first, but then like when they came out on warm up, but then as they were skating the program, it kind of became distracting, especially when the skirt would flip over and it wasn't the same print under the underside, and it just became a lot. I loved Paul's shirt. I thought he looked great.
Yeah, yeah. Their biggest issue was that curve lift that didn't go up. She basically just didn't get her footing on his thigh, and the fact that it stayed up was kind of a miracle in itself.
Isn't this what happened in Beijing
Oh my
to them?
God, don't remind me. Oh my gosh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the program. I like both of their programs. I think both of their programs are great material. I just think it needs a little bit more mileage. It needs a little bit more practice. And, they obviously love that music. And so that's going to come through. And it's
Yeah.
going to continue to come through. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, similar. I could do with a little less of the like pelvis overhead type movements, which I was a qualm I had with Vincent of yesteryear. Yeah, I think it's a nice vehicle for them. I feel like they kind of like had a big letdown after that lift didn't go up, and
Yeah, yeah.
the mood
Yeah,
is
they were
good.
thinking about it.
I'm worried that the judges aren't that psyched about it. Like my take from this is that they did have a mistake, but like their repeat program, La Joie Laga's repeat program, I feel like the judges are like, oh, I've seen this before. We'll see how they develop. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's always one of those things where it's like you got to wait till somebody skates it clean, and then it's like, okay,
yeah,
is this what you're
yeah.
scoring it, or is this such a, is it different?
I
Oof.
watched the free dance with my mom, and she was so impressed with Lim and Kwan. She loved their free dance. She was like, their lifts are so beautiful. So shout out to them. Their program was great.
That was interesting. Caitlin Weaver on the Canadian broadcast was talking about it being like an old school program. Like it felt like ice dance of yesteryear, which I agree with that. Like there's something very classic about that program that that was cool. I mean, the war hero and
Yeah,
the you know lovers torn apart kind of
yeah.
thing.
I feel like the melodrama will be appealing to like Chinese Korean skating fans who like watching these,
Soap operas.
K
Korean.
drama. Yeah,
I'd love a Korean drama
yeah.
uh, free dance. We should
That
do
would be
that.
great
Or like a
next year.
like a Mexican team doing like a telenovela uh, free dance. That would be
Yeah.
something.
I've been listening to Lily Allen's breakup album, West End
Oh my
Girl, this weekend.
gosh.
Someone needs to do a free dance to this. It's great. There's so many great little hooks and pieces, and yeah, it's fun.
All right, well, that was Ice Dance. It was not what we expected it to be, for sure. But I will say one thing that came out of it was Reed and Levicius, because they got a bronze in their first one and the silver here, they are in contention for the Grand Prix final. Uh, it's still I still think it's a long shot. I need to take a look at how everybody else is stacking up. But in Grand Prix series of the past, if you got a second and a second, you're in the fifth or sixth spot. If you got a second and a third, you're in like the sixth, seventh, eighth, or ninth spot. So we'll see where that puts them. But they're not totally in. They're not totally out. It really depends on how everybody else shakes out, and the craziness that is the Finlandia Trophy ice dance field is going to really set the tone for all of it. So it's to say we won't know really until the very final competition
Yeah.
happens. Okay, let's move on to pairs.
Okay.
The resurrection of Deanna Stellato from the despair of Grand Prix de France.
Yeah. Did you see that video Skate Canada posted of her finding out they won just backstage? She was freaking out.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean, she was
sure.
freaking out like she won worlds.
I
She
mean,
was so happy.
I'm not surprised at all because I think she of all people have been like trying to like I think in her mind is like, when can we get a break? Because last season was such an issue for them. The programs were not gelling, the results were not coming in, they were not getting the scores that they wanted, they were not getting the components that they thought they sort of deserved as world champions, all of that stuff, right? Like it was like, and they ended the season what, fifth at Worlds, and she was like, I'm now a comeback person,
Yeah.
and that was her setting them up for like, they needed something epic. And this was in a lot of ways epic because they beat Hase Volodin. Hase Volodin, that said, had mistakes.
Yeah.
But the fact that Stellato-Deschamps skated two programs that they felt were finally worthy of their potential and their skill level, I think that helped. The fact that they got a 140 in the free skate helped, like all of that. And this means a lot. It totally means a lot to both of them, especially Deanna. And hopefully this is like the start of just them not being so in their brains about their programs and just skate the way that they can skate because they're a great pair.
So you teased that you
Oh
had a
yes,
realization about their free skate, but you wouldn't
yes.
tell me what it was. You were going to announce it. So here, let's hear it.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I think we were talking about the Poeta free skate, and I was like, it just feels like the slow section just goes on for too long, and it doesn't really give them the oomph until like the last minute. I had a similar thought here, but I realized what it was. It was that like the beginning section is fine. This all the setup and all of that. I think it's great. It sets the mood, and then there's this middle section with the flamenco guitar that I just feel like for about 30 seconds it just kind of goes on, and it doesn't feel like it's connecting the front half and the second half, and then all of a sudden they go into I think the throw sow, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, we're there. But there's just like this middle section that that loses me and
Yeah.
loses my attention, and that's why I sort of in France I kind of was disconnected from it, and in here I was connected to it until that section, and then I connected back to it in the last half. So that was my realization of like what I was thinking, and why that program, even as good as it is, it still hasn't grabbed me quite like, their interview with the vampire. No, is it interview? Yeah, interview with the vampire program. That one really grabbed me, and this one not yet.
Yeah.
Michelle,
I
Michelle's like, that's not much of a revelation. Thanks.
No, I mean, I feel similarly. I don't. It doesn't hold my interest in the same way. I kind of have to make myself pay attention to it, and then when the last third, I'm like, oh, I'm in
So
it
good.
finally.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last part is so good.
Yeah. I thought their short program here was great again. I wish there had been more of a crowd to react to their backflip, but
I
they
know.
performed it really well. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with Hase and Volodin though. That was a kind of some freaky mistakes in the free skate from them, who are they're usually the paragon
Totally.
of consistency.
They're just so like, yeah, their stuff is usually so easy. But the throw flip is a new thing for them, and kind of maybe growing pains with that. The fall that Nikita had at the beginning was a total fluke.
Yeah.
He just like slipped off his edge when he was trying to get into the double axel. So I'm not too concerned. I don't think they seemed too concerned. They were like, everything else was great. It's like, let's like just clean this up. I think more concerning to me is that their free skate doesn't sing.
Yeah. Doesn't
And you and I were
build.
talking about this. It doesn't. Yeah, it kind of is at the same level the entire time. Whereas Four Seasons last year was so like there were so many good ups and downs and excitement. Yeah, I wonder if they feel the same way about it, because I wouldn't mind seeing Four Seasons again.
Yeah, I think at this point I wouldn't either. Let's bring it back.
I love their short program though. That tango
Yeah.
is really good.
That's good. Nikita's demeanor is so different this year. I don't remember him ever being so smiley. Like every time I see him, he just looks
Because he's
delighted.
German now.
Yeah, maybe he realizes like I pulled it off. I got away with it. I'm going to get to go to the Olympics. So he's just along for the ride.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Smiley, Cam and O'Shea.
Oh
Oh
my God.
my God.
Yeah.
That free skate is the best thing I've seen them do in a very long time.
Yeah.
It was such a relief to see, because they were such a good pair. And, he had that surgery, she had the concussion, they had a late start, their first competition was a hot mess, and then you're like, what's going on? Like, have they lost it? And I think we were told here that they did not lose it. They now have the top American score of any of the American pairs, which is
Wow.
a good sign for them. Almost 200.
I still feel the fear from Ellie a little bit on
Oh
the
yeah,
throw landings on the
yeah,
I
yeah.
just feel it a little bit, and I don't think she's gotten to the point where she's got the crazy pair girl brain yet. And some people don't ever get there, but like, the hunger to hit a clean landing, I don't feel it from her. But I think this was a good step forward.
Yeah, really good stuff for her. I mean, they did actually land both of their throws. Oh my goodness. And I was texting with Danny afterwards, and I was saying that like that throw flip just looks so much better than the throw out. He was like, yeah. Like it's like I think one of the reasons why they moved to the throw flip was because it actually, because it's not on a curve and it's on more of a straight line. Ellie feels a little bit more comfortable with it, even though it's actually a bigger throw than the throw Sal.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's the kind of weird pair girl thing you tend to hear though. So maybe she's getting there.
yeah. Let's hope. Pereira Michaud. I know they didn't skate well on the free skate, but their short program was
So
one of my
good.
favorites. One of
It
my
was
favorites.
so good. It was like, whoa, that was so good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They
Like
should have scored
great.
higher.
And they were skating to Jessie Ware, right?
Is that what that was?
Yeah, Jessie Ware. She's cool. She's a good
No idea who that
singer.
is.
Yeah, it was a cool program. They just laid it down, and I just was kind of like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
I
And they were like
I
they were like so confident. They were like, and
yeah.
like it's like I don't know if audience members, if you've ever been in an arena with Trent Michaud, he will come around and just like wink at you
Uh-huh.
randomly, and you're just like, oh my god, he winked at me, like both of them, right, have this charisma about them that
Hmm.
if they make eye contact with you, you're like 10, we got it, it's good.
Yeah.
So I felt that charisma from them in that short program so much.
Yeah.
And their free skate is well choreographed. I hope they can skate it well this season. But both of these are great vehicles for them.
That free skate to the Mission when the music was picking up and they were just like wildly falling. I was just like, whoa. uh, yeah, I hope they can get it together for that because that music's really powerful. I was thinking maybe they, as great of a program as it is, I don't know.
Too much
Maybe
too
some,
soon.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I watched them do that free skate at their Challenger event too, and there were some wild falls then as well. Yeah, I was Nebelhorn.
Yeah. And shout out to Anna Vipendlaw and Luke Digby
Yeah,
for a really amazing comeback. They were fourth in the free skate. I love both of those programs
free
on
skate
them.
was great.
Yeah, so good.
I think Chris Howarth said it felt like they were skating the short program with like someone else's skates on, like they didn't know what even happened.
I know.
It felt like that. Yeah.
It just looked weird, right? Like
Hmm.
it looked like they didn't know where they were, and then way to come back with a
Hmm.
career best free skate, and like I like them as a pair so much. They have all the goods,
Hmm.
and they are such big skaters, and I
Hmm.
don't think they get enough credit for their pair skating
Hmm.
quite yet because they have been inconsistent. So
Hmm.
just get to see them dig themselves out of the hole.
Hmm.
Pairs. I really liked that competition overall. Just in general, it was good to see there was some
Hmm.
like some of those up and coming teams
Hmm.
were also really really good to watch.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
flip a coin, men or women.
Let's do women. We're going in reverse order. So
All right. Okay, the women were speaking of calls and
I
judging.
jinxed the hell out of Sarah Everhart by saying she doesn't get under rotation calls. I didn't think she deserved a lot of the ones she got, but she got quite a few here.
It was a lot.
Hmm.
I mean, on replay, you really did see the hook. She has a tendency to, especially when the jumps are a little bit tight, to just like
Hmm.
squeak them out. And we've seen her get under rotation calls before, and
Hmm.
when she does get them, she gets them in a bunch.
Mm.
And so this is what we saw here. But I agree with you. Compared to the others, some of those under rotations, even had they been the same for others, they would have been called a Q, right?
Hmm.
Or if they were called an under rotation, the GOEs weren't so bad, right? Like I think
Yeah.
there was just like the she was getting hit multiple times that
Hmm.
other people were not getting hit with, and I think that was unfair in a lot of ways, and I really don't know what to make of it.
Yeah. I was so mad about the under on the Lutz in the short program. I was just like, where?
That should have been a Q, if
Where?
at all.
Yeah, I know. It's like a crime against Uzbekistan. Her beautiful Uzbek jump technique.
A crime against Tatiana Boninin.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah. The Canadian women had a wild
It was
time.
wild. It really was wild. I mean, Maddie Skeezus with two falls in a short program
That's crazy.
had no idea what was going on,
Yeah.
and then skates the best free skate that she has skated all season. Like
Yeah.
it was like the reversal of fortunes, right?
Yeah.
Usually she's really good in the short, and then kind of leapfrogs over Sauermont and Juliana, who like neither of them skated terribly well. And Sauermont did have that triple axel and she stepped out of,
Yeah.
which was a good attempt, but like the
It
rest of the
was
program just
all
wasn't
downhill
there.
from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her start was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a lot in that choreography. I mean, it's like
The ray
it's
of light.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. I mean, the hair twirling and the hip shaking, and I don't really understand what the connection is to the song, but I mean, she seems to.
I don't
So
know. I like it.
yeah,
There's something quirky about it. I mean, as I understand it, Ray of Light is about clubbing all night and then
yeah,
and then seeing the sun, which is the ray
yeah,
of light.
yeah,
I think that's what it's supposed to be. I mean, I I should be better at this as a
yeah,
devoted fan of Madonna,
yeah.
but she was kind of, she's like the I'm about to go out and party kind of a thing. I do wish she would go and do like full Canadian tuxedo and do the denim jacket on jeans look that Madonna had.
Like Keegan.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. Madonna did that in that era.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like that. That was the Ray of Light video, and I don't know.
You should put on your resume expertise in Japanese single skating, Michelle Kwan, Madonna.
At Madonna. Yep, yep. I mean, I've been to 10 Madonna concerts,
Wow.
FYI. So,
Wow.
yeah. Talk to me another time about Madonna.
You could buy
Okay.
like a Lexus with what you probably spent on tickets for all of that.
Lexus Cup of China. Okay, so top six were an interesting mix, right? Mone Chiba wins, Isabella Vito gets second, Ami Nakai gets third. They were kind of the podium that we expected in some order. I know you had Yuna Aoki on the podium. She was just as I had expected. Unfortunately, too many under rotations,
Yeah.
and just not consistent enough. But
But
her,
that
I
step
love,
sequence in her free skate. Oh,
I love her free skate so much.
yeah.
And the next time I see Emma Stone, I need to tell her that she needs to watch Yuna
Yeah.
Aoki's program because it's so good.
Yeah.
The next time I see Emma Stone.
Yeah. Or Ryan Gosling. I'm sure he'd
Or
appreciate it too. Yeah. He has two daughters, right? Maybe you can show it to them and get them into figure
I
skating.
know exactly.
Yeah, that step sequence. It's like one of those programs where I forget to like look at the tracker and I'm just engrossed in the program and I love it.
I do like that the panel gave her the time of day on components. They could have been higher and they should have been higher because she had some of the best choreographic material of the entire competition, but still better than what they've given her in the past, which fine with. Shark Naki was in third.
Yes, Sharknagi.
It was a
She had a
good
great short
It
program.
was a good short program. That short program is so intricate, so musically cool and quirky, but like
Yeah.
in a different kind of quirky way.
Yes.
It's not Hitchcock quirky. It's like what? It's like Emmanuel Sandou quirky, or
Yeah.
like like those what skaters used or what skating fans used to call voidy programs.
Yeah.
Like just kind of this like
They still do.
yeah, this sort of like you can't really put your finger on it, but it's cool
And
and it's different.
every element is an opportunity for it.
Yeah,
And it all
yeah,
works.
yeah,
It's all connected.
totally.
I love when she does the sit spin and she has her hand flat out right above the ice, like below her leg. That's cool. It's just
The little
interesting
details.
yeah, details.
Yeah, so good. And then Sharknaki didn't end up getting the kind of run through that it's gotten this season. The second half was just a little messy, but hey, fifth place, 192. Ooh, we need to talk about the Italians. Let's talk about the Italians after we finish
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
But there was that was important. This competition was maybe less important for Laranaki Gutman than it was for Nikolai Memola. So we'll talk about that one. Brady Tennell, fourth place. I thought the some of those calls were right. Some of those calls were maybe a little lenient. Some of those calls were I don't know. There was something about those top four where I was talking about this in the short program recap, where there are just things that they didn't review that they should have reviewed.
Yeah. It was
And
weird.
yeah, like Mode Chiba, both of her double axles in the short program and free skate, they were very like they were not rotated to the point where the judges like gave her like a -1 or a 0 because they saw it and then it wasn't reviewed, so there was no call.
Yeah.
That same thing happened with Isabeau. Same thing happened with Ami. Same thing happened with Brady. So I guess it was fine that it was consistently inconsistent, but it sort of was
Yeah.
consistently inconsistent, sort of only for those top skaters.
Yeah.
That was what I saw.
Yeah. I was surprised when I looked at Brady's protocol after watching her skate that she only had 300 rotations. And it was on jumps that I saw, but I felt like there were more. And there were, the sprinkling of cues was not in there where I expected it to be. And then, yeah, Mone too. I felt like Isabeau was there were
Isabeau's were right.
yeah,
Yeah,
especially in the free skate. I felt like
yeah,
that was correct. The 3 unders she got.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Mone they
yeah.
were generous with, but it's hard not to be generous with her because she's such a little like ray of sunlight. But that's not what the panel is supposed to do. You're supposed to call what you see.
I mean, but of all of them, Isabeau's calls were probably the most on the mark.
Yeah.
Um, like Ami Nakai's triple axel in the short program, they didn't call it at all, and they did review it, and it looked like at least a Q.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You just never know with these camera angles what you see and what you don't see. So far be it for me to say. But I think good for Ami Nakai to come here, being a Grand Prix champion, and be like, I'm gonna still kill it. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be the best
Even
thing that I
without my
did.
triple axel.
Yeah, exactly. And the bronze medal sets her up really well for the Grand Prix final because now she has 26 points and she has a win. So it'll be very tough for her to not get a spot in the Grand Prix
So
final.
Nick was asking me about this, and my immediate knee-jerk reaction was like, it's not locked. But then I was trying to do the math, and I think she's locked. I don't think mathematically anyone can knock her out at this
It
point.
could very well be, yeah.
I was trying to I could put 5 people ahead of her, but not 6.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to do it yet. So it's very, very possible given the sort of topsy-turviness of the standings so far this season. Yeah, and also again, Finlandia Trophy is such a gauntlet.
We haven't seen Wakaba or Luna yet on the Grand
Crazy.
Prix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, can we please just cross all our fingers for Wakaba to be like,
I'm going to pay an Etsy witch to put a spell of protection on her.
is she healthy? Is she ready to skate next week? Please, please. We cannot not have Wakaba Higuchi in the Olympic season. Like we
God,
can't.
please.
Like she just needs at least give her the chance.
Give her the components she deserves, too.
Yeah, give her
Or
the component
else.
she deserves. Yeah, exactly. Mone Chiba, so she gets the win. Isabel Levito with the silver. Levito with a second and a fourth. That's gonna basically eliminate her from the Grand Prix final unless something crazy happens. She'll probably be an alternate. But lots of skating still left to go. Okay, let's talk about the men. I have developed a version 1 of the Menning Index.
Yes.
And the Menning Index is on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is extreme Menning and 1 is no Menning. And this competition was an 8.2.
Whoa.
So
Let's go.
it wasn't extreme Menning, but it was still quite a bit of Menning. Now, in comparison, Grand Prix de France, as we remembered very fondly of the craziness that happened there, that came in at a 9.5.
Allez.
So that was
Allez.
very close to extreme Menning. So my Menning index for the mathematical nerds out there is based on the standard deviation of the difference between the short program and free skate placements And if the scale is if you are more if the standard deviation, one standard deviation is more than 40% of the maximum standard deviation for the number of competitors that there are, then it's a 10.
Whoa.
So the Michelle's like, whoa.
You had me with
The
the first part, and then I was like that lady that's like looking off to the side, and the numbers are appearing on the screen. She's just like, what's going on?
Also, the standard deviation of the ranking differential for this men's event was a 2.86, which means that every competitor was something like 70% of the competitors was within, you know, changing places by at least 2.8.
Oh,
That's basically the explanation of it. Now, it was skewed heavily by Kevin Amos going from fourth to 11th. It was skewed by
Roman Sadovsky, 10th
Roman
and 6th.
Sadovsky, yeah, going from 10th to 6th. So like that,
Nika
there
Agadze,
there was a
8th and
lot of
4th.
that, right?
Yeah.
And then sort of 1, 2, and 3 were fairly. Oh no, I'm looking at this at the wrong one. 1, 2, and 3 were still quite different, right? So there was a lot to be had there with the differences in the standings, but I'm going to keep refining it. But this will be a continued project for me this season. Okay, let's actually talk about the men.
Okay.
Ilya Malinin, not surprising with the win,
World record free
in,
skate score was 6
yeah,
clean quads.
in a lot of ways very surprising in how clean he was. I don't think I've seen him
Yeah.
compete that cleanly.
He was
They
so
were
relaxed.
so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was amazing. He was just like so chill. Like, okay. And it's really interesting because a couple years ago, Ilya would bomb at nationals because there was
Uh-huh.
no pressure because there's no one there to compete against him. He was like in
Yeah.
a class of his own. He was in a class of his own by like 75 points at this competition, and he still went out there and he just did his programs clean. No problem.
Well, you were talking about this alter ego thing that he
Yeah.
seems to have coming into competitions, and the next time I see him, I'm going to ask him about that. You wonder if that has had something to do with this because he's just been he's been locked in every single competition, and he's just looked very good. The intrigue was the next four.
Yes. Yes.
Alexander Selevko, who has been a hot mess and usually is a hot mess,
Yeah.
skates maybe one clean competition a year.
He's done it. He got
I
it.
mean, I mean, remember that Europeans where he won a medal and skated
Yeah.
super well. He skated another one where he only had one mistake, which was the triple axel in the free skate.
Quad
But
Lutz,
wins
first time in
quad
competition.
lutz. Was it first time? I feel like
First
I've
time
seen it
clean, I
before.
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Silver medal, the first Estonian man to win a Grand Prix medal. Like this puts him much more into the conversation now of the Estonian spot.
Yeah. So he was talking, I saw his quote that he gave to Golden Skate about the Estonian criteria. They add up your two best scores from a Grand Prix or Challenger. And the person with the highest total goes. And I added for him, his brother,
Oh,
and Arlet
interesting.
Levandi. Yeah, and he was third in that. Arlet's only done one Challenger, so I did his next
Yeah.
best international score. But
Yeah.
so Alexander Slevko was third in that ranking, and I should probably calculate what it is now with this new huge score. So
I mean, it's got to
yeah,
be first.
yeah,
So nationals doesn't matter, you're
no,
saying? Oh my God.
not according to what he told Golden Skate.
Interesting. Well, so let's talk about the Italian men, or the
Yeah.
Italians, which what we found out what the criteria was because Nikolai Membola was talking about it, and also Laura Nakaguma was talking about it. It is very similar to what you had just said for the Estonians, which is the two best international competitions, right? But one of them can be substituted by one of those Italian test skates. So that's a big boon for Danielle Grosso, who scored a 290 in the Italian test skate. and then you add on to that nationals. So it's the total points across three different competitions. Two of them are internationals, but one of those two internationals, you can substitute an Italian test gate in, plus the national event. So right now, based on Nikolai Memola's what he did here, I've got the numbers. Grassel is in front with a 560, so that includes the Italian test gate, and then Cup of China. And Memola is in second with a 511, which is Lombardia Trophy and the Italian test gate. And then Matteo Rizzo is very close behind with a 507. So 4 points between Memola and Rizzo right now. Rizzo had a big score in the Italian test. So all three of them are right now counting an Italian test gate event.
Yeah.
And then he also had a pretty good score at Nepola. So Rizzo has two more Grand Prix that he's got. He has not been on the Grand Prix yet. And Memola also has a Grand Prix that he needs to go to, and Grassel has a Grand Prix that he needs to go to. So still could be a lot of changes moving forward. But I think if you're Daniel Grasso, you're probably sitting pretty happy right now. And I think for Matteo Rizzo, he needs to lock in some more because he's, besides those two competitions that he's counting right now, the other two competitions that he was in were not very good. So he's going to want to get something in the 270s or something, right? And same thing with Memola. He's going to want to get something in like the 260, 270 range at his second Grand Prix. So that's the Italians. But for the women, Laranaki Gutman is ahead 398 to Anna Pizzetta's 371, so she's got a pretty comfortable lead. And then for the pairs, Conti Machi has more or less sealed their deal. Like I don't think anybody's taking them off the team. 426 they have, and then Gilardi Ambrosini 381, Beccari Grarise 341. So right now, if they took the scores right now, it would be Grasso Memola, Gutman, and Conti Machi and Gilardi Ambrosini.
And we didn't do the math for dance, but it's still going to be Guinard Fabry, even after getting hosed in France.
There's nobody who's going to be competitive with Guinard Fabry for that one dance spot. So yes, correct. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the dance of the men's field. Do we want to talk about Kao Miura?
Yes, he is back. Kao Miura is back. Four quads back. How he did it. He spent 2 weeks with a sports psychologist. He started working with one after France. I don't know who he hired, but man, they got his brain reorganized, and he went out and did a very respectable free skate. Stepped out of all his jumps in the second half, but still, compared to France, it was a triumph. I'll take it.
I have 3 words. Wow, cow, how. Those are my 3 words.
He's an enigma. I don't know what's going on, but I'll take it.
He's such an enigma.
Free skate number 3 of the season. Best performance so far.
Yeah, he's switched this free skate multiple times. He now has vaulted himself back into the conversation because nobody else wants to get that 3rd spot, apparently. It is based on today, right? It is between Kao and Kazuki, right? Kazuki was only 2 points behind and has had a better season than Kao has so far. So I think that will be it will come down to nationals and how they do. Now, obviously, Kazuki has another Grand Prix. Kao does not. He's done. His next event, hopefully, I think, hopefully his next event is going to be Japan Nationals. Maybe they'll send in a Golden Spin. I don't know. But Kazuki has another Grand Prix that he needs to do. So he's got room to
Skate
improve
America.
there. Yeah. So we'll see him at Skate America.
Kazuki needs a new free skate. He cannot skate that Halston program well. It's like, and it's like such, the way it's paced, if you start making mistakes, it like breaks the spell and it's hard to stay engaged in it. And for him being such an expressive, exuberant musical skater, I don't feel like that program does him any favors.
It's interesting. I remember seeing that program clean or near clean, and it really made an impact. I thought Mishiji did a great job with it, but I agree with you on the like, because it's not the dynamism of some of his other programs or most of his other programs. You really expect him to be on, and when he's not totally on, it goes away. But like you saw it right in the second half when he hit those jumps, it was like, oh, we're back. But that first
Yeah.
half just like lost you because
Yeah.
he was making so many mistakes at the front.
Yeah. I want him to go back to his La La Land free skate from the last
That was
Olympic
I was
season.
thinking about that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
many
know
La La
Yuna got
Lands.
me all into La La Land again.
Okay, there were two other stories I wanted to talk about. One is Kevin Amos. He we totally thought, or at least I totally thought, that he was something of a lock for a medal. Turns out he had an injury about a month ago after he was at Nepala, I think, and so he's just started training again, and so this was something of a thank goodness I'm here kind of an event for him. Did fine in the short program, didn't go for the quad, and then went for the quad in the free skate, landed it, but then the rest of the program was like a hot mess. Um, but like, I think different than the meltdowns he's had in the past, I would not call this a meltdown. I would call this an inconsistent skate for him. Like, I don't think there was mentally anything there. He didn't leave the ice being like that was the worst thing ever. He left the ice being like, well, I
Did
gave
the
it a shot.
quad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did a quad. I gave it a shot. Like, it was good to see that he wasn't like mentally devastated by this, and it gives you a sense of kind of where his mental state is going into this program or going into this competition. So at this point, I'm not worried for the rest of his season, but we'll see what happens when he goes to, where does he go to next? He goes to
Skate
Skate America.
America.
Skate America won't be
He's
in
going to
Dallas
skate
though.
completely clean and win the competition.
It won't be in Dallas though.
I'm going to bring him a Don't Mess with Texas hoodie.
He's he's only very good in Texas.
I'm going to throw the Texas flag down into the kiss and cry. I'm bringing him some Dr. Pepper.
The other one I wanted to talk about was the Battle of the Canadian Men, really, namely Sadovsky versus Gogolev. The Gogolev was still happening, just not happening as much as it was earlier in the season. He had a good short program. The free skate was full of step outs, but could have been worse. I mean, they basically ended up tied. 236.73 for Sadovsky is 236.48 for Gogolev.
Yeah.
So right now it's anybody's game, and we have not entered Keegan Messing into that conversation yet. So
Roman
the
being
Canadian
sixth in
men.
the free skate, like, just shows how much weird movement there was because he did not have that good of a. He had a lot of mistakes. Yeah. So, and like silly ones too. Just jumps that are easy to him. Just,
Yeah.
Yeah. I was really a little, I mean, Tomoki got his best short program of the season. He had
Yep.
a great short program, and yet he was ninth in the segment due to the depth of the field. I felt like he could have scored a little bit higher, or placed higher. I don't know.
It was so close. That was
Yeah.
also a thing, right? Like he
Yeah.
was what, 84, and like fourth was 89. So it's like, Tomoki, if you're listening to this podcast, work on your spins, please, because that's killing you. I'm sure, I am sure he knows, but the short program spins were generally fine, but he was getting negative grades of execution for the last two spins, and then the free skate spins. If he hadn't had those issues, I mean, I literally saw his score drop by like 5 points because he got a 2V on the flying combo, he got a 4V on the regular combo. You just can't when you're this close. And Andrew Torgashev is a very good spinner generally. You gotta do your spins. So that's one thing we know. He's gonna be focused on. The men and their spins. I mean,
We
good
know because he's
Lord.
listening and he's going to listen to you
Yeah.
because it's
Thank,
very important.
hi, Tomoki. Um, no, the men and their spins at this competition, it
Yeah.
was a travesty.
Yeah. It's you're just throwing away points. It's just like, and Memela too. I mean, it's like, hold your position. You know,
But
well, I always talk about Mao Asada, you know, in the last couple of like years of her career, she was very inconsistent on jumps and she had some performances she wasn't happy with. But that girl never left the ice with anything less than a level 4 spin. I mean, it should just be like muscle memory.
it just goes to show you spins are not easy, especially with all these like crazy uh, variations and features and stuff. Some of which like I could do without, to be honest. Like enough random cartwheels after a spin. Like sometimes the cartwheel works. Like Laranaki Goodman's cartwheel in the free
She's
skate
the only one.
works very
She's
well.
allowed, no one else. She has the pass, no one else has it.
We can't just do a cartwheel that has no musical feature to them. I can't deal with it.
My favorite spin feature when it doesn't go off is the blade feature. When they do the whole thing with their body to try and go up, but then the blade doesn't actually go up, it always makes me laugh. It's like, oh.
It's like the illusion feature where it used to be like it killed me when somebody got an illusion feature, but all they did was a one rotation camel spin. Like it was not. It's not. That is not
Yeah.
that is not an illusion,
Yeah.
and you should not keep giving them that feature because it was not what it's supposed to be. Um, but like Alexander Selevko, the originator of the Blady Blade, um, he still does it obviously very well. But now he also does it the Sonia Hilmer way, which is going up on
Ooh,
the
toe
toe.
pick. Cool.
He does both of those.
Yeah.
It's very cool. When it's
He's a good
done well,
spinner.
it's great. Yeah, when
He got
it's
a
done
level
well, it's
fours.
great. When it's not done well, it's not great.
When it's
And
not done well, it's funny.
these judges need to like take off for it when it's not done well. Like really.
Yeah.
Ay, okay, enough ranting for
Yeah.
today. What are you obsessed about this week?
Um, I'm gonna go with Yuna Aoki's La La Land footwork choreography. It
And
made
the
me
blue
really
dress.
happy. Yeah, yeah.
And the blue dress.
In the blue dress, it was lovely. Liquid gold.
I am obsessed with Vladimir Samoilov's short program.
Yeah, I've got the power.
It's so 90s.
Yeah.
Like, I think what people don't understand about the 90s is that we were generally not cool,
Yeah.
right? Like we were doing things that we thought were cool in the 90s, but like looking back, it actually wasn't very cool. And Vladimir Samoilov's like the opening of his short program absolutely encapsulates that like I think I'm cool, but I'm actually not cool kind of look. And he works it so well. Like to the point where any 90s kid who watches that before he does the one-handed cartwheel, it's like, oh yeah, that's a 90s thing that you just
Yeah.
did. All he
It's
needs
very
is some
like
like saggy baggy jeans and like a white shirt underneath a ridiculously large
yeah.
blousy shirt.
It's very like David Green on Beverly Hills 90210. I just thought he
Yes.
was so cool, and it was like,
Yes.
oh. Why
But
isn't
we
anyone skating to 90210 theme song? I had a free skate to it when I was like 9. I used to watch that show. I skated to the theme song. That would be great. Why isn't anyone skating to Ace of Base? Sorry, I'm still on the rhythm dances again. I appreciate Samoilov doing a fun, ridiculous 90s song well.
Ace of Base, considering how many ABBA programs we've seen in the last 10 years, the fact that nobody went to Ace of Base, maybe Ace of
Crazy.
Base's music was way too expensive to license. That could be a thing.
Oh. Yeah, and it's that Deanna
Oh, yeah.
Stellato made that
Phil
comment
Collins.
saying, yeah, they wanted to skate to Phil Collins and it was going to cost $50,000.
Phil Collins. Hey, Phil
Yeah.
Collins. We're
Yeah.
trying to give you some airtime. Please.
Yeah.
It's
I know
okay.
she should message Lily on Instagram and maybe she'll call her dad and be like,
I
we
know.
went. Although, you know what? It's a good thing because I love Carmina Burana.
Exactly. No, Karina Burana is a perfect vehicle for them. Um, I'm going to end with a Madonna rant. which
Okay.
is I was having a conversation with somebody on Twitter about how there are so many really good, moody Madonna songs that they could have used from the 90s, like from the Erotica album or from the
Rain.
Bedtime Stories album or like Rain, like
Yeah.
those two albums, they were avant-garde and
Hmm.
they were clubby, they were bassy, they were like everything that you would want in a rhythm dance, and nobody took advantage of it. Nobody has the discography memorized of Madonna's that I have, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So
I'm realizing that we should have started doing consulting over the summer with the skaters that like didn't know 90s music. I mean, we should have done like seminars on it.
yeah, yeah, the history of
Hmm.
90s music. You can go this way, you can go that way, but
Hmm.
don't do Backstreet Boys,
Yes, please.
everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing Backstreet Boys. So, oh, I'm going to end with this one. Nessa and Markelov's rhythm dance is unhinged.
Yeah. It's like every era of the 90s and they don't go well together. And
No.
they do you notice in the edit of Everybody by the Backstreet Boys, they took out the part that says "Am I sexual?" It comes right up to that part and then it's cut out and then it goes right into the chorus.
Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, no, I mean, going from they start with Be My Lover, right?
Yeah.
They go
Boosh.
going from Be My Lover to Say My Name
Yeah.
for a
Like what?
90s kid
That's
is
10 years
like,
apart. Different
yeah,
genres, different
if
people.
it's like if you were a 2010s kid and
Hmm.
you did a program where you went from only girl in the world to formation. Like that's the
Yeah.
kind of like jarring
Sacrilege.
the like jarring transition that when I heard it, I was like, why did you just transport me
Hmm.
from fourth grade to 11th grade? Like why did that happen?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then they did Backstreet Boys, and then they did Spice Up Your Life. I was like, oh my God, that's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, that's all.
Their free dance was so harshly judged. I was so offended. They skated really nicely, and I was just like, this panel, ugh. Anyway.
All right, well, we'll have more to be exasperated about next week
Hmm.
because Michelle, you probably won't join me, but it will be middle of the night figure skating watching again for all of us in the U.S. because it's NHK trophy time. Oh no, but it won't be middle of the night for you.
No, because I'm on the West Coast. They start at like 7 p.m. for me. I'm so excited.
So you'll get to at least
Yeah.
watch two of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like on the East Coast it ends at like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, okay. I
Oh
guess
boy.
I get a couple hours before I like
Yeah.
have to start work. All right. Well, that's it for this week's equally unhinged episode of the Rocker Skating Podcast. Thank you, Michelle, for fighting with me as usual because we're continuing to have these fights.
Hmm.
Next week, we'll be joining you virtually from Japan for NHK Trophy.
Hmm.
Lots of intrigue. We had two, maybe three Grand Prix spots secured this week, which was Ilya Malinin, Deanna Stella, Maxime Deschamps, and maybe Ami Nakai. I need to go do the
Hmm.
numbers. Next
Grand Prix
week, I am,
final.
yeah, what I say?
Just Grand Prix spots.
Oh,
Grand Prix
Grand Prix
final.
final spots.
Hmm.
Next week, I'm sure we will have more ones that will get qualified, and so we will keep you all updated on all of that. But for now, for Michelle Ellis, this is Jackie Wong of rockerskating.com. Thank you to our sponsor, John Wilson Blades, and all their brands. And then also thank you to Tara Nichols for making us sound good because I sound like I have a list this week. Thank you so much. We will talk to you again next week. Bye.